Hello, friends and neighbors, and welcome to episode 32 of Ray and Benny Talk Sports. We're here on a Thursday night with a crazy Battle of Alberta happening again. Like, how many goals? 4 goals in the last 2 minutes?
Minute and 10 seconds, or a minute and 11 seconds.
That series is crazy, bro.
Man, it was 2-0 Calgary.
Yeah.
Edmonton tied it up, and then the shit just hit the fan. And then we had 4 goals in a matter of a minute and 11 seconds.
What's the score right now?
4-4.
Okay.
Late in the second period.
Okay. We'll get into that. Maybe during their intermission, or we'll slide into the NHL playoffs. We got a lot to talk about there. We got some great quick shots this weekend, talking about Team Canada Soccer and their friendly with Iran. We also got Colin Kaepernick getting a workout with the Raiders. Of course, we got Benny's Brickhead of the Week. We got some shout outs. And we got the NBA playoffs that we got to update on. But let's start off with the CFL. Oh, I went to watch a theater show this evening, so I missed out on the updates of what's going on with the collective bargaining agreement. You got any good news, brother?
I do. It sounds like they came to an agreement, and then right before about 9 o'clock, they ratified the deal and everyone voted on it, and it sounds like everything's passed. So
Ooh.
CFL football's back on.
Here we go. I didn't want to
Bomber
get too
preseason.
excited.
Yeah, Bomber preseason up this weekend. So
It's happening tomorrow.
It's happening. Yeah, that's right. Actually, tomorrow. Yeah.
Is Edmonton in town?
No. Well, Winnipeg's supposed to go to Edmonton, aren't they?
I thought it was.
No. Never mind. Yeah, it's here.
That's what the season ticket thing says. So
right.
I'm like, dang.
Yes.
And we go to
Saskatchewan next week now. That was the one that was supposed to happen last Monday or whatever, right?
Okay.
But yeah, I guess Edmonton's probably on their way, or maybe they were here already. I don't know. Unless they're gonna push the game back.
Like, today was supposed to be a walkthrough at the stadium. There was no full practice, so I wonder what
I know the Bombers were doing a walkthrough because I saw somewhere that Big Hill had to leave to I guess check on this deal or whatever. Yeah. So I'm assuming Edmonton too, but unless Edmonton caught a flight late tonight, get in tomorrow morning or get in later tonight. I guess it wouldn't take that long to get in here.
Yeah.
Edmonton to Winnipeg. Day trip.
I'm very excited to see what the details of the deal are. Again, I was at a show. I haven't been on Twitter, so who knows? I hope it's 7 years again, so we don't have to deal with this for a while.
I'm sure. Yeah,
Go ahead, brother.
That was the only thing I didn't end up seeing for sure in here was the length of the deal, but it sounds like that 49% rule is still stuck in there, but for 2 players instead of 3.
Yeah.
And the other thing I read here was that it'll be 7 nationalized players and then 1 more. So it'll be 8 national players, but one of those will be a nationalized American.
Okay.
So 3 years with a team or 5 years in the league.
Man, this ratio was such a divisive issue. And you know what, man? Bro, looking back, this media leak about the league and their consultation with this American company about changing it to 4 downs and getting rid of the ratio, man, seeds were planted early with a divisive issue. And I'm not against looking at the ratio because historically that's what they've done in the CFL. Ever since they brought it in, like the Bombers won the Grey Cup in 35 and they had like 8 people imports. And then the year after they started the rule with, you can have only so many brought in players. You have to have people living actually in Winnipeg. And throughout the years, the ratio has changed. So that's not my issue. It's just the 40% snap thing I'm still not jiving with, bro.
How is that going to be kept track of? Like I've read a lot about that and a lot of questioning. Like, who's going to keep track of the 49% in any given game? And are the refs going to have someone in the booth making sure it's right, and the teams are going to have someone in the booth making sure? Like, it doesn't make sense to me that that's going to be having to keep track of during a game, and then you're going to be like, oh, we're at 49%, or we're at 48.5%. Let's throw this guy in for one play and then take him out.
It seems a bit troublesome, and it doesn't really. I don't see how it keeps American players. It doesn't increase their value, because that was an issue, and I totally understand that American players didn't feel appreciated, but I don't see how this increases their value or makes them feel more appreciated.
No, No, the funny thing is, and to me, Derek Taylor had on Twitter today a good thread about this all and that ratio. And Derek Taylor is the new voice of the Bombers. There's many other leagues like UEFA. They limit the amount of foreign players that can play. The English Premier League limits the amount of other players that can come from anywhere else and play. Chinese Basketball Association, Australia's top soccer league, and the list goes on, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know why everyone is so up in arms that the Canadian Football League is saying, hey, you need to play this many Canadians. You need to have this many Canadians on your roster. It's the Canadian Football League, man.
Absolutely.
You know? And it was built for Canadians.
Yes.
So,
like,
I don't know.
I asked Doug Brown, in all your years playing football, covering football, on a play-to-play basis, when have you heard another fan say, or another colleague, or any professional say, oh, that play would have been better if it was an American? Oh, he would have caught that ball if it was American. Oh, if they were American, they would have read that blitz. And Doug Brown said somewhere between never and unheard of. That's how many times he's heard someone say that. Yeah. And of course, he's biased as a Canadian, but that's the fact. Like, people don't sit there and watch and say, hey, this game would have been better if there was an American in that spot instead.
No, how many American players? Ricky Williams is one that have come in and were supposed to tear up the leagues. How many quarterbacks have come in from college football? T. Martin, and they were supposed to tear stuff up.
Hey. Anyway, Troy. No, honestly, exactly.
He's the first name that popped in my head after I said that. So.
No, I get you. But, even Andre Ware, he came down here. Yeah. No, it's not an easy transition where you're just American. Like, of course, quarterbacks are a different issue. That's why they're apart from the rule. But still, and Canadians need those snaps.
Yeah.
Andrew Harris would not have been the player he is without those snaps.
No.
Special teams leading up and then a backup. If there was an American that could put them in there as running back, he would have lost his spot.
He never would have got his shot, really. He never would have made that BC Lions. He never would have had, the way he came up through the system there, and he never would have had the opportunity. It would have went straight to an American player.
Exactly.
For sure.
Same thing as Nick Dempsey. He started as a special teamer on Saskatchewan, and he got more reps and more snaps and more confidence when he played with, in a professional league, number one, and he played with Americans.
Yeah.
He's probably I have the athletic ability. I just need more polishing, which they don't get in U Sports or CIS or CIAU or whatever the F you want to call it again. So Canadians need those snaps.
Yeah, we'll see how this goes, because it changes over the next few years. A lot of these players may not be around in the CFL anymore in the next 2 to 3 years. So hopefully it doesn't lean towards too much nationalized American players, taking those spots, because you still need those Canadians, whether it's 3 years, 5 years, or 10 years from now.
Yeah.
Otherwise, people will just end up start watching the XFL if it survives or whatever.
You want to see all American players? There you go.
Yeah. If that thing can even survive, can it survive?
We'll see. They have a partnership with the NFL, so that helps. But so did the American League of American, or whatever it was, American Unified Football, whatever it is. All those, I don't know.
Didn't that Europe League have something too with the NFL?
The World League of American Football?
Something like that. Yeah, I don't even know what it was called, but it lasted for a few years. But
league after league, and that's the thing. The CFL has put their heels in the ground in regards to this ratio when they really should be focusing on marketing the game.
Yeah.
Trying to build a younger market in Canada. This obviously we can't go back and say our balls are bigger. That's probably not allowed on TV no more. But they do have to embrace the intricacies and what makes this game unique.
Yeah.
It's great that they move the hash marks in, so they use the bigger field. They use more. So those are the things they got to do. And they got to actively be marketing. Like, what I said, bro, 1% in Toronto. Toronto, 1% of your population.
Yeah.
Why can't y'all do that? Why can't they do that?
It wouldn't be much at all, man.
MLSE,
it wouldn't be much.
It's a tax write-off for them, man. They don't care about the Argos. It's sickening, man. So that's where the league should be putting its attention.
That's the thing, man. Market these guys. Get them out there. Yeah, Willie Jefferson could be marketed, no problem, man.
Bro, I'm glad. It looks like he's moving to Winnipeg, or he made the move.
I think he moved already.
Yeah, during winter.
Yeah, he probably regretted it after.
Yeah, he's
after
like,
this
what
winter.
the heck is this? I should be in Texas right now. But and I totally agree to the naturalized Canadian rule. I love that rule. They used to be in the CFL a long time ago. And I think it's necessary. Why do you have to take one Canadian starter away and put that in? Why can't you just add it?
Yeah, exactly. So it'll go to 7-1, but the 49% rule will still be in for 2 out of the 7, I guess. So
yeah, and I'm happy that they're back. I'm happy that they're back. Don't get me wrong. It's just that the racial thing kind of bugs me in the way it was danced around and proposed. It just still ruffles my feathers a bit, bro.
Oh, for sure, man. But like you say, it's back. We got preseason games this weekend. Bombers kick off on June 10th.
Let's talk about the Bombers then, bro. Let's talk about the Bombers. Let's start on a kind of odd, weird, bad note. People were shocked when Jalen Saunders, people were happy when he first got signed. It's like him and Colaros had some great chemistry back in Hamilton. He was an incredible player. And bro, what happened with this dude?
Yeah, according to Jeff Hamilton of the Free Press, 22-year-old Winnipeg woman filed complaints alleging that Saunders sexually assaulted her this past weekend. So once the Bombers were notified of that, they released the Jalen Saunders, a wide receiver, immediately. Police have been contacted. They'll take a look into it. But Jalen Saunders' time with the Bombers is over. And if he did this shit, it's a good thing they got rid of him.
Yeah, that's a shame.
Yeah,
it's a shame. And if that's the case, I really don't have anything to say. It's good that he's gone.
No, you don't want it.
Talent be damned.
Exactly. That's one thing the Bombers are known for lately. It's more about character than the talent of the player. Absolutely. And Saunders could have came in here and caught 1,500 yards, or so many yards because so many balls, but this stuff it needs to be taken seriously, and there's no need for it at all. So
yeah, easy. That's disrespectful. Without going into detail, what he did, what he did was disrespectful. And there's a culture here in Winnipeg now, and it's great that you mentioned Willie Jefferson, leaders like that, Jamarcus Hardrick, who are in the community, who do. We talked to James West in that great interview, and he said it was the players who dealt with players like this, and it seems like they have that culture there.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good. You definitely need that, and that's what breeds championship teams. And you got each other's back, but you also need to be following the rules of society and all that stuff. Once you cross those lines, I'd see you later, buddy.
Get out. Yeah. And of course, we can't say he's a big loss because he wasn't really in-game action. But it's really interesting to see how this receiving core is coming together. They talked about more reps for Janarian Grant with the offense. And when I was at training camp, you saw him taking pitches like Dembski did and being in motion. And I think this dude's going to be a scary weapon, man, the way he moves and slants he's taken. And you give that guy open space, bro, it's trouble.
Well, yeah, I mean, look at him as a punt returner and everything. He's a scary guy once he gets that ball in his hands. So, yeah, why not get the ball into his hands a little bit more? Especially on pitches, man. That's awesome.
Use that speed, use the size of the field.
Exactly, right? You just get that ball in his hands and see what he can do.
Yeah, and you know what? Again, it's too bad for Jalen Saunders, but he had to go. It'll be interesting to see how this receiving core comes together. Ellingson, Rasheed Bailey, Janarian Grant, your boy, Nick Dembski. Maybe it's just about Colaros spreading the ball around more.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. Who's going to step up to be that number one guy?
Yeah.
If there is. Kenny Lawler was that number one guy last year, right? Will there be more variety? Will one of these guys, will Rasheed Bailey take over that Lawler role and now become that go-to guy? We know Dembski is going to get his balls, right? He's going to have his runs in the backfield. He's going to get his catches. Yeah. There's no question. Is Ellingson going to be able to recreate what he did 2 years ago? Last year wasn't the greatest season for him.
Yeah.
But can he get back to that form? And he's a big body, right? And you're chucking those balls over the middle and he'll get there. So,
yeah.
Then you got Wolotarski still, right?
He's another big, solid receiver.
Yeah. So,
and Rasheed Bailey.
Yeah.
Like he's next level now. I think he's ready to step up to be that number one receiver.
And he was showing glimpses of it last year already, right?
So. Oh, absolutely. That touchdown where he hit the goalpost and he held on to it. That dude I think he's ready to step up. And it might not be a 1,500-yard, 1,300-yard year. It might be just over 1,000.
Yeah.
But still, he'll be that go-to guy.
And then the other guys that they've brought in and the rookies in the free agent signings. So who's, maybe you got a dark horse there that's going to step in and all of a sudden be part of this wide receiver core, right? So or maybe the Eskimos are going to cut Kenny Lawler at some point, right? So
oh boy, they cut like a Canadian receiver earlier this week. I can't.
Yeah, Tavon Smith.
Maybe look into that dude. Another
Canadian. No, I think he signed with Ottawa already. The Red Blacks.
Good job, Paul LaPolice.
Lapo is all over that.
Yeah, man. That's why you got Darvin Adams. I highlighted the name of Kelvin McKnight. He is a receiver that I enjoyed watching during training camp. He was like going out for balls, a smaller receiver, making cuts to the sideline. So maybe he might get a shot. And also Antonio Nunn looked good. He's more of a slender kind of receiver. I actually have a question for you, bro. Can you remember when's the last time the Bombers had a receiver that took the top off? That was just that vertical threat? Honestly, I couldn't remember. I still am trying to think. Friends and neighbors, if y'all can remember the last time the Bombers had a straight vertical threat, like a Lucky or a Banks when he was good. I can't think of it. It's been
unless it was Lucky Whitehead, but he didn't really do a heck of a lot.
Like, obviously, Stiegel was always in danger, but, maybe Arlen Bruce when he was a rookie.
Johnson?
Albert Johnson. Yeah. Flight 83. Maybe.
Man, what a wide receiver core we had back then.
Bobby Gordon.
Yeah.
Mike Sellers in the backfield.
Was G. Simon, he was around for one of those years, right? Before he went to the NFL.
He was.
Jeez.
Wow.
Yeah.
Still no
crazy.
Still no cut from that, but that's okay.
No.
That's okay.
But why do you got to bring that up? Why do you got to bring that up?
Because we just won back to back. It's all, the wound is healing, bro. It was like this big, but now it's like this big. It's healing slowly but surely.
A three-peat would get rid of that 2001 altogether.
It close it up, bro. I could pour salt on it. It'd be fine, man. Let's
put it to bed.
Put it to bed. I can't wait. I can't wait to see what this offense does. Because, Buck Pierce had a great year last year.
Yeah.
And I'm looking. He just gives so many looks. So many different looks, putting people in different places, using players in different positions. I'm really I am looking forward to seeing Buck Pierce's year 2.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. This is year 2 now. Year 1 was pretty good. Let's see what year 2 can bring. And I expect a lot more out of this offense than what they brought last year. So it'll be exciting there. And if they can stay healthy, O-line, Claros, wide receivers, man, they should have a pretty good offense to go along with that already awesome defense.
Yeah, do you think Claros is going to go back-to-back MVP?
He definitely could, man. I mean, you know what? The funny thing is he had a great season last year, but it wasn't, it's not like the Bomber offense was always humming last year, right?
No.
There's a lot of time his defense did enough and the Bombers, got it done at the end, the offense. So, yeah, his full second season into this type of offense with Buck Pierce, I can see him definitely taking it over.
With a training
taking
camp,
it back.
With a preseason, with 18 games.
Yeah, it's going to be exciting.
If I was going to go predicting for Bomber offensive MVP, I might put my money on Johnny Augustine this year.
Oh, wow, you're riding a lot on Augustine this year.
I know, bro. Ever since the season was over, I'm like, they got to get this Augustine. He's not got to be the workhorse, and I still believe him. So, Johnny Augustine, I'm going to vote for you. Who would you think, if you're going to predict, who do you think will be the Bombers' offensive MVP?
Oh,
they can't be an old lineman. Come on now. They have their own category.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Nick Dembski, man. He's gonna step up with these wide receivers that we've lost this year, and he's gonna step up into a bigger role. Even with Harris gone, Dembski, he's that Canadian. He'll step up and fill that role. I think of what Harris has gone and fill that leadership role, and I expect a big season from him.
Yeah, and that's another thing about the ratio. You got to have these Canadian kids, the hometown kids, who inspire the next generation of not just players, but football fans.
Yeah.
There's that connection.
Something to strive for, man.
Yeah. What kind of jersey does your boy have?
Well, he's got the Harris one, so...
See, there's that connection there with the local players, the local Winnipeggers that you need on these rosters. Don't tell me nothing about no ratio. But it's happening.
Exactly.
They voted.
It's Canadian Football League, man. Canadian Football League.
Yeah, we could talk about this on, and we will. This is just the beginning, bro, of the path or journey to 3.
Yeah, I guess we got predictions probably coming up in the next couple of episodes. Next couple of weeks, maybe. before the season kicks off for sure.
Wait, man, I can't wait. But let's talk about some NHL playoff action tonight. Let's start in the East. Only one series there. Again, home team. Home team, bro. And it's a good game. It's not like Shesterkin played bad or anything like that. It just seems like the home team has that energy. And Hurricanes took it 3-1, 4-1.
4-1.
4-1. There you go.
To me, 3-1. Sorry. Yeah. To me, the Carolina played their game tonight, being at home. I mean, they shut down 17 shots only for the Rangers. Yeah. 34 for Carolina. So they played their game. The funny thing was, talking about last game, we were praising Ranta and how well he was, and then in game 4 he wasn't very good.
Yeah.
We were questioning whether Kopp was doing enough points wise, and then he gets a goal and 2 assists. So,
yeah, that's good. Just start calling out people. If we want them to do good or bad, we'll just call them out.
We jinxed Ranta, we helped Kopp, but then Ranta got us came and got our backs this week tonight again when he another solid performance. Only had to make 17 saves. I mean, he made 16 out of the 17, but
last game there. Trouba hit on Max Domi. Of course, the game before that, Max Domi had his little cheap shot at the end of the game on the defenseman. Do you think there's a connection there? And also, clean or dirty hit? Fine or... Well, it's not fine or no fine anymore. That's done already.
Yeah, I think it was clean. I think the problem was Domi, I don't know if he fell on purpose because he was scared of the hit, or if he's just slipped and started to go down, and then it just ended up into an awkward hit.
Yeah.
And then, Trouba, obviously, he ends up leaving his feet, but I think it's a combination of being, oh crap, what do I do here to try and avoid this and all that stuff. So I say clean. I have no issue with it at all. It's funny, though, it's always the same guys that end up in these situations. So
I'm going to say it's clean-ish. The only thing I hate when I see hits is that upward motion of the forearm. And yes, Domi was falling down. It's just the upward motion of it. It usually means you have bad intentions with that. Rather than going through the guy, you're trying to go up and take him out. I don't know, take him off his feet. So that's the only thing. But I think within, the bang of the play, I think it was a clean hit.
Yeah, I think Trouba's eyes probably lit up because he was like, I'm going to light this guy up, and then Domi ended up slipping and all that stuff. So Absolutely. It could have probably been a pretty nasty hit.
Totally.
If Domi had not fallen and Trouba had connected.
Yeah, that's a big size difference there. Difference there. So next game, I'm just going to go with the pattern. It's going to be the home team. The Rangers are going to win. Shesterkin's going to be a wall again. The Rangers are going to be pumped up to get the win. Gerard Gallant's going to pump them up somehow. Ryan Reeves is going to be more involved, and it's going to go back to Carolina for the Game 7. That's how I feel, bro.
If Carolina wants to show that they're going to battle for this cup and have a chance against Tampa, they have to finish this out in 6. They can't end up losing yet another road game and expect to end up playing Tampa. I know they'll get home ice advantage again, but Tampa's going to steal a game in Carolina at some point.
Without a doubt. They took 2 in Florida.
Yeah. Yeah, no problem. They won Game 7 in Toronto. I mean,
who's going to stop them, bro?
Exactly. I think they're stop them. I think they're going right to the final anyways. So
and beyond, I think, pro.
Probably 3-peats. Yeah, Bombers and Tampa 3-peating.
Oh, there's some good eating there. Let's go on to the Western Division. Who do you want to start with, bro?
Let's start with last night. In Colorado and St. Louis. Colorado, man.
Shout out to Prison Mike.
Prison Mike was loving that one.
For sure.
3-0. He probably smashed his TV. Then the comeback started, and all of a sudden it's 3-3.
Yeah.
3-1 heading into the third. If you're Colorado, you want to be considered a Stanley Cup contender.
Oh, you got to finish that.
You finish that game. You can't blow a 3-0 lead.
Especially with the past couple of years.
Yeah, exactly. Because now the questions are starting to come in, right?
Can they Toronto.
do it?
Like Toronto.
Exactly. Can they do it? You're up 3-1 going into the third.
Finish it.
Fine, you let them tie it. But McKinnon scored a wicked goal from one end of the ice to the other.
Yeah.
And you're up with a minute left. And you still allow a tying goal. Yeah, and then losing overtime. They got all this power up front. Their D is wicked, and I think the part that may end up failing them is their goaltending. And
yeah,
I don't think they addressed it enough with Darcy Kemper or
talked about that earlier
Francois.
in the year. Yeah, we talked about that earlier. It's either they're going to have a good 2-goalie system or it's going to fall apart. And it looks like it. And St. Louis doesn't have Bennington.
No. Yeah, and Billy Husso has been terrible.
Yeah, he's not been playing very good. No.
But 3 goals in a third on 10 shots, basically. You know, and Kemper's got the lowest save percentage of any goaltender that's still left in the playoffs.
That's ridiculous.
So
that's ridiculous.
Tampa Bay, talking about them again, have firepower. They got stars, but their biggest star and probably one of their best players is still Vasilevsky.
Oh, yeah.
You know, you're not winning anything without decent goaltending.
No.
Well, we'll see. I mean, between Calgary and Edmonton here with this goaltending, one of them's making it. So,
any reports on that? Okay, well, in the next couple of games here, let's finish off Blues Avalanche. What do you think has to happen? What do you think will happen? Will the Blues take it? I'm leaning on them Blues also because I'm biased. I like them. But yeah.
I'm starting to lean that way too. At least I think they're at least going to take game 6 for sure.
Yeah.
And we'll see what happens in game 7.
Oh, if they take game 6, bro, it's over for Avalanche. Their psyche will be done.
Yeah. I mean, the Blues are at home. They're going to come out pumped, firing on all cylinders. And can Colorado withstand that? Will Kemper be able to handle it? Or is like you say, the past failure is going to creep into Colorado's mind.
We'll see.
And it's going to end up being another loss and possibly a lost series. So,
oh, goodness gracious. What's going on in the Battle of Alberta? Any updates on the scores there?
The third period just started and and the goals have stopped. It's 4-4. So
they've stopped for now.
For now, I'm sure there'll be at least another 4 goals this period somehow.
Another 2-minute fury of craziness, and Kane over 3 of them.
Jeez. Yeah, I mean, we questioned last episode. Will the Oilers have learned from their 2-1 lead against the Kings? And they answered that last game, which was another very weird game as well. Oilers going up 3-0. Markstrom giving up a gift at 21 seconds in. Poor D on a goal. The long range goal on Smith to tie it at 3.
I can kind of see him getting that black puck lost for a couple seconds in the dark jerseys. I totally see that from that angle. The player was skating towards him, but come on, don't put your hands in the air and try and blame someone else.
Yeah, as a goalie, you're always told to focus on that puck, know where the puck is at all times. You could see it's getting shot down at some point, but yeah, that's the best, man. The hands up in the air like your defense screwed you up.
Come on, guy.
Dude, what is that, 140 feet more or whatever? Like, it was beyond the other blue line. You should be able to stop that. Yeah. So, the funny thing is, I was going to say in this game, the Flames needed their big guns to step up. They needed Kachuk. They need Goudreau. They need Mangiapane to actually start playing in these playoffs. I mean, as well as Markstrom playing better and their D playing better. Mangiapane and Goudreau have goals tonight. But Markstrom still, it's only 19 shots. You've given up 4 goals.
Come on, guy. Come on. It's not like anyone's expecting anything from Mike Smith. Like, just have a decent game. But
yeah, Mike Smith just has to do enough.
Yeah.
Speaking of stats in this thing, like Draisaitl and McDavid in the 4 games, not even including tonight, had 13 points for Draisaitl and 11 for McDavid in 4 games. Kane's got 5 goals. Crazy. Hyman's got 5 goals. So someone needs to step up here for Calgary, man.
Who do you see winning tonight?
The way this is going, the Flames are up 2-0. And then blowing that lead and then, taking the lead again and then blowing it. I think the Oilers are going to finish this off tonight.
Yeah, it's feeling that way. They have that momentum, like you said last episode. And even though they're down early, again, they have that momentum, taking it back. And they can do that in a second.
Yeah, they have that momentum, right?
Jeez, if they can only play defense for half a game.
That's the thing. Calgary's D has not been very good. Markstrom has let in some bad ones, but there are many where the Oilers forward is winning the battle in the blue paint around that net, winning that loose puck and basically tapping it into an empty net. So
still a great series.
It is
a great series, that Battle of Alberta. I can watch another 4 or 5 games of it. I wish I get
Edmonton Tampa would be a pretty cool final.
It would be. It would be. Yeah. Just that Tampa defense and Vasilevsky would be too much. It'd be too much.
We'll see. They had a rough time against Toronto firepower, so but Toronto had more.
That's early.
A few different lines that they could go through. Edmonton's got to get some of these other guys scoring besides the top three there.
That hasn't happened so far. So
nope.
Let's look at the NBA playoffs. Quick and dirty. Oh man, this Celtics Heat thing is disappointing.
Go Leprechaun.
Games are so boring. It's like close. Someone has a crazy quarter, and then it's over. The Eastern Final has been very disappointing.
It's whoever's hotter from the 3-point line.
I can't, bro. I can't. It doesn't matter to me who wins this series at this point, even though it's probably going to be the Celtics. I don't know, bro. I
wouldn't be surprised if Miami came out firing, hitting those threes, and then all of a sudden,
of course,
we got Game 7. So
of course.
So I got a question for you then on this.
Yeah.
What do you think needs to change there? What can the NBA do? Do they move the 3-point line back to make it a little bit harder, or what? Because it seems like once those 3-pointers start going and a team is hot, they take over a game.
That's just the way of the game now. All these people want to take 3-point shots. They don't want to set up anything in the paint. They don't want to set anything up in the upper key. It's just not fun for me to watch anymore, bro. You can't play physical defense. Whatever.
No.
It ain't going to change. It's going to be more 3-pointers.
Yeah.
Find a way to increase scoring like every league does. So, yeah. I don't know. It's what's going on with the 3-point dream machine there in Golden State, bro?
Well, they finished off the Dallas Mavericks tonight with a win. So 4-1 series win. That was it, really. And you knew it was going to happen. Golden State led the way on 3-pointers years ago, right? And that's where the league shifted after they did what they did to win championships. So,
yeah. Quick question for you. Mm-hmm. With Toronto, Milwaukee winning recently, are we seeing the end of the NBA super team, you think?
Yeah, I mean, the one thing about Golden State is they had Kevin Durant years ago, and they got their main 3 guys, but they drafted those guys and built around them instead. So, and then you
consider them a super team. I'm talking about like LA or Brooklyn, who look laughable.
Exactly.
That's what I'm talking about.
Well, LA went the old man route, and that was a terrible idea. Now they're stuck with a bunch of contracts that they got to get rid of and trade draft picks to get rid of. Brooklyn, it blew up in their face because I don't know what they were thinking going for the players that
Kyrie
they did.
Irving's garbage and James Harden's garbage, man, as team players. That's what happened.
Yeah. And like you said, Milwaukee won it without any, I'm not even going to try his name. Giannis
Antetokounmpo.
Yeah, there you go. So, yeah.
They built around him.
I think there will be teams that are still going to try it. The Lakers, obviously, with LeBron, are still going to try and buy their way to some players and championships.
All those big markets, man. Chicago, New York, LA. Give me a break.
But it's looking like you don't need that anymore, right?
For sure.
These stars got to gel and play together.
Yeah.
And that's the biggest thing. So hopefully it steers away and we get a good variety of teams challenging again.
Quick shot. Canada cancels game versus Iran. It's supposed to happen in Vancouver on June 5th. Thoughts on that? It had to be done.
Yeah, it canceled for good reason. I mean, mounting criticism led to it being canceled, but
yeah,
Canada Soccer has not given the reason yet why they ended up canceling it, besides this criticism or what the reason was for, I guess.
Yeah,
but this game should never have been scheduled. And it's good that they actually went ahead and canceled this game.
Yeah, like sports can bridge the gap. Sports and politics there'll always be a cross section of that. So people who say sports and politics don't belong, get out of here. You don't know what you're talking about. But in this case, the situation wasn't resolved. There's still some unfinished business, for lack of a better term, in regards to that plane being shot down. 85 Canadians / nationals, people living in Canada, were killed.
Yeah.
And just to schedule that game, I know they probably didn't do it on purpose, but they didn't think of that.
Yeah, that should have been a big factor into scheduling it in the first place. No matter what you thought Iran could bring you on the soccer pitch, and if they could help you out to get ready for the World Cup, that should have been thought of as well.
Yeah,
as what's happened out there. So,
and the Iran Minister of Sports says that Canada owes him like $10 million. What is that? I'd like to see the ledger sheet where that makes sense. Get out of here, $10 million,
Who's
man.
making $10 million on that game?
The Federation was, you're going to get $400,000. Where are you getting your $10 million from?
That's crazy.
It was almost sold out, though. It was almost sold out. A good idea I've heard, schedule the game against Ukraine, give the $400,000 to the relief effort there.
Yeah. Schedule it against anyone and give the money for relief efforts or whatever, but not anyone, obviously. But no, smart decision there.
Exactly. Think a little Canada soccer.
Exactly.
Cap working out with the Raiders.
I heard it was a good workout. They haven't signed them yet or anything. But
who says this? Ian Rappaport says that it was a good workout. How was he there?
No, if anything, they've heard from someone who was there, right? From the Raiders organization or maybe someone in Cap's organization, right? Yeah. Letting him know. Who knows where this info comes from. But, it's good for the Raiders. This doesn't absolve Mark Davis from all the stupid shit that he does at all.
No.
But at least they gave him that workout. And, if it doesn't work out for them, maybe some other teams will give it. But, he's better than the options that they have at backup with Nick Mullins and Jared Stidham and some other guy. So
Chase Garber's an undrafted rookie.
That's it.
He'll cost less. But the thing is, even like the Seahawks were the only team to give him a look. And their reason for not hiring him, because they're scared of Russ Wilson's fragility, his image, and that people would bow down to Kaepernick and then split the room. So give me a break. That's not even a real reason.
But why wouldn't they do it now then? Because obviously they got Geno Smith and Drew Lock, man. Why wouldn't you bring in Cap, see what he can still do?
Because you know why.
Yeah, exactly.
You know why, brother. You know why.
Exactly.
Benny's Brickhead of the Week. Who you got, bro?
Well, I got to go back to, I know they went ahead and canceled this game, but I'm still giving it to the Canada Soccer Federation for even scheduling a game with Iran. So many other nations they could have done this with. And this is just a poor choice. So my Brickhead of the Week goes to whoever decided in that federation or the whole federation for deciding this game.
Absolutely. That's a good Brickhead. Come on, you got to think.
Terrible.
I want to give a shout out to Omar Khan. I'm biased. I'm a Steeler fan, but he's a new Steeler GM in the organization. Good to see a person of color lead in the organization, and a storied one like the Steelers, the Rooney Rule. They're standing behind what they believe in. So shout out to Omar Khan, the new GM of the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah, right on. See what he can do there. He's got some big shoes to fill or follow with Colbert. So
yeah, Colbert had a good run.
Yeah, not bad.
Yeah. You got any shout outs, bro?
I'm going to give a shout out to Team Canada in the World Hockey Championships. They were down 3-0 to Sweden today and came back to win 4-3 in overtime.
That was
PLD is having quite the tournament for them. Leads the team in scoring and maybe even the tournament. But he's at 7 goals. Lowry's played pretty well, so good luck to them in the semis.
Put them on a line together. Benny, you got anything to say to the people?
You know what? I just want to say to everyone out there, thanks for listening. Drop us a line somewhere, or you can find us on Ray and Betty Sports on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Leave us a comment, give us a follow, subscribe on YouTube. Yeah, check us out and have a good weekend.
Bomber fans, enjoy the weekend. Hopefully there's a game tomorrow. Looks like they're pushing it like it's going to happen. So Bomber season, we're back. CFL, here we go. And from the famous words of Michael Jordan, I failed over and over again in life, and that is why I succeed. Be kind, be safe, help each other out. Hey, friends and neighbors, don't forget to check us out online on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter at Ray Benny Sports. And don't forget to check out our YouTube channel. Leave a like, leave a comment. Tell us what you think.